Okay, as usual, I'm going to ask if you can hear the air conditioner or not. Let's take a look real quick and see what it looks like. And we're finally really live. There we go. Good time. Got that sorted, settled, mostly for the most part. I hope so. Really trying here. There we go. I can move that now. Good.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, that was quick.
I'm kind of retarded.
We'll just jump on over and take a look then. If I can. Come on, you. Thank you, El Presidente, resubscribing with Prime for 9 months. That's a good way to start out a show. Welcome to the Wednesday show. As you can tell, the angles are different. As you can tell, probably just by looking at it. I managed to get it together, which is the optimal sort of setting for this show. Did it happen? If it did, congratulations to everyone watching it. It's a worthwhile endeavor. Fuck me. And is it gonna freeze? I bet it's gonna freeze. Watch. Let's see if it freezes. Does it freeze? Maybe? No? I don't know. I'm sure I'll hear about it if it does. Welcome everyone though. It's Wednesday. We're all liberated from the first half of the week. This table's entirely too high. Not even to crack into my old Ben Shapiro joke. Here. This'll work better. There we go. Now I can speak at the mic and it'll drip. Loads of technical difficulties today, but then again, what else is new? But I made it, you made it, we all made it together. That's the important thing, and I hope you're all having a fucking fantastic day. You're hanging with your old friend. Oh, so Habib is here, and he's drinking Captain Morgan. Let's see, Jables Boogly he hears, okay, so listen, complain when you hear the air conditioner and it becomes a problem. Otherwise, don't fucking ask me to turn it off, because it is still goddamn punishingly hot here. And, I'm not enjoying it. Not in the slightest. But, so what I've been trying to do, and I want y'all to let me know if, there's a very limited audience these days. There's a bunch of regulars, and then you guys know what you like and you know what you don't. And you're never shy of telling me. And what I'm hoping to hear is so, typically just to really kill time, but also just sort of, get it out of my system. I've been taking recently to using the first portion of the show as something of a Festivus poll, sort of offering my opinions and thoughts and what have you on whatever might be on my mind at the beginning of the show. That way I can get that whole ranting bit out of the fucking way, and then just move on to trying to be moderately entertaining. Yeah, no. I don't look like I'm going to sell you a car now, which is a good thing. And, yeah, it's all fine. But today I got to say, something fucking crossed my mind, because it's like crossing my mind both in the real world and in the news cycle. So, for those who don't know, I start my days in the afternoon, typically. Or whenever the fuck I get up, I don't know. But, like a lot of people, I like to just sit down, take a shit, and read some news. Find out what's happening today or whenever's going on, and see what maybe I missed or ignored or intentionally made a point of not being aware of. How did I fuck that up? But as such, the early parts of this show oftentimes tend to be sort of something of a rant and a ramble, something I'm kind of known for, but it's not typically what this, what constitutes a good late night show, even though they have monologues, and mine are probably better than 90% of them. Eat dick, Jimmy Kimmel. Well, I'm curious to know if you like them. Now, I'm going to go grab my lighter, because my dumbass left it across the room, and then when I get back, I expect a plethora of answers, both on Twitch and YouTube, because I'm streaming both places for purpose. I believe in your belief in me. I don't know, fucking. Anyway, I'll be right back. Oh. Nope, I was fucking wrong. I had it on me the whole time. The whole goddamn time. Can you believe it? Alright, cool. So, just destroyed the green screen illusion. Smashed that fourth wall. There's nothing for you to even consider at that point. Even though I'm speaking directly at you. Also, now everyone gets to encourage me to get my gym membership back in order. Because, otherwise, what are you going to do? Well, something I found today, and I'm not going to go too deep into this because I am going to try to make a real video about it. I do still make videos from time to time. And But so today the news came out that that our dear president, our dear leader, the bestest and most amazing cognitive therapy patient in the history of cognitive therapy, proudly said that suburban people no longer have to worry about low-income housing in their neighborhoods. Now, it's a funny thing that he comes out with this now, reversing this, making affordable housing something that there will be less of it in general. And it's a good idea as the nation is facing a wave of evictions of renters who just couldn't make it by, and governments which by and large said, okay, if you've got a mortgage, we're going to give you a moratorium on that, but if you're renting to someone, they still have to pay you all the same. And now we're getting word that, he's shutting down a HUD program, which was designed to encourage any sort of area that was getting federal funds to put up a certain portion of new housing developments to be public, not public housing, but affordable housing, as it was called. Now, one of the loopholes, in the way that this is a loophole and it's been exploited, typically has been that developers will put up luxury condos and then designate like 5 or 10 units and say they're Section 8 friendly, which basically just means that whoever's on Section 8 pays a bare minimum amount, and then the state tends to pick up the rest of the tab, even if you're talking about a $2,500 two-bedroom on a shit part of a shit town. Now, as I saw this, I considered what was going on here in Manchester, what was going on in many places that I've seen. And one of the worst things is that for a long time, especially with the culture war raging and that dividing people up, even to this point now, where you'll see folks who, like, they say a lot of people, oh, you were making fun of BLM a few years ago. And yes, I was. And now you support it. And, yes, I do now. But one of the things I've always worried about with modern activism and its volume and its intensity, and the fact that people who aren't otherwise involved or invested in one way or another tend to just sort of let it be white noise in the background while they go about their lives, is that the conversation around gentrification is something which has sadly and continuously been just sort of on the back burner. It's the kind of thing where you hear so much about it, it's just a buzzword you hear thrown around. But as it stands, even just here, and this is not the worst of them, but New Hampshire is actually facing upwards of a 34% eviction rate for renters. Now, I don't need to. Now, I'll remind you real quick. This is an expensive place to live as is, no matter what, and they definitely don't like the poor at all. So they try and price them out. But to hear that upwards of 34% of renters statewide, and granted, it's only a population of 1.3 million, I believe, that 34% of the people of those who rent might be kicked out of their homes, to hear that people are championing the notion that we are actually making efforts to defend the cushy upper-class suburbs from the poor's getting in, makes me wonder if we really haven't, passed a certain point of no return, a line of demarcation, if you will, after which there is no coming back. Now, it's not just in terms of public mentality and how people think and see things. It's not just about, have we actually graduated to a point where we are so lifestyle obsessed that the notion of poverty is one which is best kept out of sight, out of mind, but more that the net results of masses of people being thrust into situations such as homelessness and poverty, well, it's not just a bad for ye old economy. The Dow Jones isn't the thing that suffers most, but the fact that when you have classes of people, entire swaths of the population that have been overlooked, forgotten, and left behind in that way, even though they, typically in this case, did everything right. They went to college, got a job, had a family, bought a home, got a mortgage, took out a second mortgage, got equity against their house, built up their credit, saved for vacations, bought a timeshare, continued consuming under any circumstances, that though they did everything right, they could still end up moving in with extended family, simply so that the entirety of their family could afford the extortionate rent or mortgage that they're faced with. In hard times, when the poor are left to their own devices, typically over time, speakers step forward to lead the way. This is where you get your revolutionaries, so many of whom ended up being bloodthirsty murderers in the end, or themselves being preceded and overtaken and overshadowed by bloodthirsty murderers in the end. One of the great virtues to our Western capitalist society, and the way that we staved off the risks run by class revolts such as those experienced throughout Europe for over 100 years or more, has always been that there's been enough prosperity to go around to make sure that, well, to one extent or another, everyone kind of had what they needed. If you were homeless and down on your luck, that was it. You were down on your luck, but there were still opportunities and ways for you to get out of that. Given how much debt is actually incurred simply living the normal life these days, if one ends up homeless, how are they supposed to climb out of that hole at all? Especially when, again, in a city like Manchester, between the 6 and 7 figure earners on the outskirts of town and all of the retail workers, the dual shift workers, the 2-job in the service sector types, and the even the lower end labor, which makes up the majority of this population. The median income here is $56,000 a year, but in order to rent and afford a 2-bedroom apartment, you need to be making 113% of that at last check, which most people aren't. This lifestyle obsession is driving more and more people who otherwise would be content and happy lower middle, working class people into poverty, into situations they would have never dreamed they could be. Now, if there's one thing we should have learned over the course of this one amazingly crazy year, is that when you put people into crisis mode, they become far more susceptible to speakers who are willing to offer them solutions to their problems, ways to fix the world around them, convince them that the society and systems themselves have let them down, and that there's no choice but to replace them, and here's the way to do it. The sorts of things that we see playing out right now, both in terms of our public debates, in terms of our public policy, in terms of our housing and welfare systems, and in terms of how we weigh the needs of the masses against the ways of the elite, believing that somehow the elite's benefit constantly trickles down. It's all making the most fertile ground possible for the kind of classist, even possibly socialist revolution that a lot of people are dead shit scared of. And while they insist that returning to an orthodox old way of life, which can never happen again, is the only way forward, some fantasy that they cooked up while reading the Cliff's Notes of economic theory and then arguing with people on Twitter, what we end up coming back to is that, well, as far off the mark as they are, the fomentation of resentment gets deeper and deeper. And eventually, as we've seen when it comes to matters such as police brutality, the treatment of poverty, and the economic inequality in our systems, that it turns out to be spilling out into the streets, to where the government's only response is to send men with tear gas canisters and shotguns full of less than lethal pellets out to shoot mothers lined up. Well, people are going to be driven out in rage. Because just like the other problems, ignoring it for so long and pretending out of sight and out of mind is the best policy doesn't exactly seem to be working. So, with that being said, I sincerely hope you all give to my Streamlabs so that I can keep my roof above my head, because the rent's going up again. But that was my rant and ramble. I think I managed it kind of okay. I am kind of curious to know whether or not you find these sorts of, well, rants and rambles worthwhile, if this is the kind of thing you want to see on this show in general. I'm always kind of uncertain about it because I do this in a serious manner elsewhere. And then I come here and I try and make it funny when I can, but truth be told, looking at a 34% sudden eviction, possibly homeless rate, it's hard to laugh at. So, thank you for sticking with me on that one. Let me take a sip of this god-awful beer, and then we'll get to the rest of the show. Because it's not all class warfare and politics around here. Y'all know I have interests beyond just that. It's just terrible haircuts, and dreaming of not being a smoker anymore. That's right, it's still a little bit of a delay, but that's okay. That ensures better quality of things. So just gonna look back over here. Let's see, Mickey Ficky, Folks Break, Dead Wolf, Canuck, Jables, of course, all here hanging out in the stream. That's good. And by the way, if any Twitch lurkers out there, feel free to say hello. These people don't bite unless you ask them to. I'm also glad to see that at least a good portion of I see the Meep Wars have worn off, which is good. Civil wars are bad, folks, but it's even worse when it comes down to nicknames, which are one step away from pronouns, and we know where that leads. Last thing I need is Jordan Peterson taking a boycott of my Discord server that he's never been in. That'd be fun, but also terrible. Oh, and Caffeine Tweaker is here. By the way, Caffeine Tweaker is single-handedly responsible for the mask design, which will be coming out this week. That's right, I'm offering merch again. Don't hold your breath as to how long it lasts, but I'm giving it an honest shot. I'm giving it the good college try this time. So, with a bit of luck. Now, with all that. Oh, cool. Also, once again, a happy birthday to Skull Maggot's grandma. I'm glad she enjoys the show. I have a grandma who watches the show. I would have never in a million years ever expected there would be a grandma who watches this show. That's insane. That's insane. But I guess I'm entertaining the grandmas, and those are, well, there's growth market there. There's always going to be more grandmas, and the grandmas will always tune in, because now I'm one of the programs, and I like that. Yeah, thank you, Breadmaster PBJ. See, the thing is, if Jordan Peterson boycotted my Discord, that would mean that he, unlike everyone else in the world, it seems, was aware of it. And therefore, you can't boycott something you're not aware exists. Which I'm sure neither he nor anyone else at this point does. But, what are you going to do?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Whoa.
I'm kind of retarded.
Oh, I thought that was thunder. But that was an alert, and I'm gonna take a guess. Mickey Figgy, subscribe, gifted a tier 1 subscription to Caffeine Tweaker. And that's 10 months going. Cheers, thank you for that. So, well, here we are, and I suppose we'll just get into it. Zeppelinus over on YouTube said he'd forgotten the question. I'm pretty sure that's my ranting style. I bewilder and betwixt you as I just ramble forward and find my way into and out of who the fuck knows. So, here we go. Is this the one? No. There's that. And then there's... Oh, that's right. There's this. So, to start out with news, by the way, once again, Bastard of Reality is what he goes by on SoundCloud. I've been playing his tunes here because, for one thing, he's, as you can tell, he's a skilled musician. I like his shit. And, but also, he's been a longtime friend, Twitter buddy, and follower of my work. And credit where credit is due, and he gave me permission to use the track, so go check him out. I mean, even if you don't use SoundCloud, just go get a follow. It's one of those social media metrics things, makes things better. But what are we going to start out with? Let's move over here. Well, I don't know if you saw this. Here's some weird news. And yes, and if you're asking, yes, I picked this because it's Fox, because I can comment, and because I love to comment. Vermont farmer returns prosthetic leg that skydiver lost during jump. It's like you lose a leg doing something fucking silly, and then what? You fucking jump out of a plane afterwards? What, to prove that it wasn't a waste? A Vermont skydiver who lost his prosthetic leg during a jump, and that really must have sucked. Can you imagine that? Like, you going skydiving, yeah, fucking maybe overcoming my fucking, I got my leg blown off, or I lost my leg somehow, whatever. I'm going skydiving. This is great. Time of my fucking life.
The ass kissing with you.
And then poof, your prosthetic leg just flies the fuck off. Like, shit, I needed that. Oh, I need that to land. So all that weight's going down on that one foot. Good luck. Oh, double amputee. All right, well, I guess it didn't fuck his ankle up. Chris Macris of Hyde Park went on a jump Saturday at Vermont Skydiving Adventures. I've actually had a number of friends of mine go skydiving with that same company. And lost one of his prosthetic legs after leaping from the plane. I think my adrenaline was so high and I was just so excited I didn't realize I had lost it. He's an old fucker. But yeah, so yeah, this is what a Vermont farmer looks like, by the way. Yes, you might have met him at a Fish concert. It's very possible. In fact, he might even be a member of the band for all I know. Who knows how many fucking people are in that thing. Macris, who was harnessed to instructor, landed safely. Well, clearly. He then put word on social media he lost his leg. Farmer Joe, why? I swear to Christ, it's like if you get in the news, your name for some reason is some, like, you have to work it out. Marzlakowski. Joe Marzlakowski. There. Saw the post before finding the prosthetic leg on his soybean field. That makes sense. That's a soybean farmer. Okay. You always got to keep an eye out, he said, who compared the discovery to a needle in a haystack, except it was more a leg in a field, but, it's semantics. He said he was grateful he found the leg without running it over with the machine during the fall harvest. And what is this, a video? No, it's just a picture of the leg. Look, he got the picture of the leg in his truck. Good for him. And there's no comment section. I need to start looking at these things ahead of time. Fortunately for me, though, the genius comment I had about, I don't know, selling the leg on eBay and then giving the guy a discount or something like that. Anyway, yeah, it escapes me now. It's another one of these like days where like I'm underslept and I'm just trying to get this together. But what are you gonna do? All right, well, fuck that noise. Let me take a look at Discord real quick. Nope, that's not that. Also, thank you, Skull Maggot, for the host. Always appreciate that. No, again, that's the wrong goddamn screen, Nick. Yeah, so fucking honestly, like if I found a prosthetic leg, like honestly, all right, if I found a prosthetic leg laying around and I saw some dude like, hey, I lost this leg, and he's like posting on Facebook or something, yeah, I'd return it to him. But if I didn't, oh god, that shit would go up on eBay so quick. No idea. So I'm just gonna pull Jables in actually, just because if I keep talking to myself, I'm gonna just lose my shit. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So man. Now, well, here's a little. I got a follow-up story. Let me put this up on Discord too, so you can see it.
Okay, not even gonna laugh at my hilarious joke that I put in the chat.
I didn't see it because I was busy juggling all this shit. Do you want to tell the joke or do I need to look it up?
It's good to know skydiving isn't that expensive. It only cost him a leg instead of an arm and a leg.
No, yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said it as opposed to me reading it, because trying to read a joke makes it can make a funny joke unfunny, and that one I hope you're ashamed of yourself. I really do. And
I'm totally ashamed of
this
myself.
Is me talking. Yeah, this is me talking. You've read my
proud of that joke.
Yet you felt obligated to push it on us when you got here.
Uh-huh. Hey, it was in my brain. It has to be in everybody else's now, too. So.
That's fair. Okay. I understand that instinct. Like, if I must suffer, so must everyone else. Yeah. Okay. I can respect that. I can appreciate that.
I hate myself for thinking of it, so.
Yeah, right? It's like, yeah, like you can't get away from you will never be able to escape the fact that was your joke. You have to own that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I guess.
You remember actually it was last night, the story about the Australian woman whose ex put up the Chewbacca competition?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, apparently, do you remember at the end I was making fun of her teeth?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like
no, we weren't making fun of her teeth. We just called her out for what she is, a vampire.
Well, yeah,
you can't be that pale in Australia without being a vampire.
Well, it's kind of terrible, though. It turns out that I don't even get to claim credit for making fun of that. Like, that wasn't original, apparently I had a zeitgeist Dane Cook moment. And, because apparently, yeah, Mum hits back after being shamed on by TV presenter over her appearance. And guess what she making fun of? Them teeth.
Oh. It's not even that they're missing. They're just jacked.
Yep, they're just jacked. Now, I got a jacked up mouth, too. So, like, I feel one part of
That's crack mouth.
Yeah, that's crack mouth.
That's not it.
God
damn.
That's a certain kind of smoke was passing across those certain teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Yeah, so.
Makes sense. Cocaine's really big in Australia, and crack is cheaper. So.
Yep. Well, a single mom of 3 from Cairns hit headlines after her ex used a phone number to advertise the Chewbacca roar contest. She was bombarded with calls. Jessica, who's been missing some of her front teeth. They're not missing. They're not missing. They didn't disappear. Okay.
Yeah, they're shriveled up like a wet paper bag.
Yeah, they're broken.
Crack smart.
Yeah, they're broken down. I mean, my name. She could actually just be like a straight front of the lip smoker, smokes through her teeth, but actually her bottom row is perfect. So,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Alive at least.
I'm kind of retarded.
Well, yeah. So you spoke out about the prank on the news on TNNZ, and it's a breakfast show. And let's see. Presenter William Longhurst was heard shaming her for her appearance, saying, "What a prize Jessica is." He should be ashamed. Okay. This is a beautiful woman.
Let's be fair. She probably has an excellent personality to land a dude to do that hilarious Chewbacca thing after they broke up.
It's a good point, yeah. I mean, she, here's the thing, Oh, fuck me. Here's the thing. She was like single mom of 3, right? Didn't say anything about that Chewbacca X guy being anyone's father, though. I think I know this. I think I know this girl, not personally, but I think I know. I think her doppelganger populates most of this city.
Yeah.
But it's just saying mean, nasty things again, you know. Fortunately, I'm not famous, so I'll never be called to apologize, because it would be a very awkward thing for me to accept the opportunity to apologize in public and then refuse to do so by doubling down. I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can double down. You can apologize. Or
Well, she says the teeth were knocked out in a domestic violence incident not related to the ex responsible for the prank, which could explain in that case why she had like such a good good spirit about those phone calls. It's like, well, my last guy beat the shit out of me, and this guy's just having Chewbacca call me at all hours of the day. Not a bad. That's
No, these were happening in the middle of the fucking night, apparently. Just drunk Australians trying to do Chewbacca noises. That sounds fucking hilarious.
It does.
I really wish they would have given us the recordings.
Yeah, I really wish this had been like, a broader sort of social media thing where it's like, hey, all I need you to call me X and do Chewbacca noise at her. Why? Oh, because she loves it and I'll give you $100. It's a contest, you see, for the radio. Yeah. It says if people want to be shallow and have a go at people's looks and not understand their backstory, that's their problem. Well, no, technically it's our problem. People have goes at my looks all the time, too, because I'm a funny-looking dude with a giant head and crooked teeth. And I drink too much and probably am going to die in my 40s. But the point is, Jessica, come on, you got to take it in good spirits because you got some jacked up teeth and people are going to notice that. It happens. Yeah.
Are Canadians the only people in the Commonwealth that have teeth that have like dental care?
I had to wonder about that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember straight up hearing it was like a revolutionary thing when the British adopted universal dental care, right? Just because it's like they're traditionally known for their very funny smiles, as it was. Yeah. Everyone in England smokes a pipe. They do. Yeah. Everyone's mouth looks like a chimney sweep's face. And then they're like, public dental for everyone. Because this is embarrassing. Now let us just have generations of inbred Britons with crooked teeth instead of rotting ones. Yeah. It's a perfectly fine thing. Apparently Australia didn't catch on to that. Now here's the funny thing is this guy, this is the TV presenter, Wilson Longhurst. He kind of looks like a cross between, I don't know, Milo Yiannopoulos and who? Because this looks like Milo if Milo had never been like molested and fucked up. Like he grew into like a healthy like journalist, just making fun of women's teeth.
Yeah.
I've seen something in there. It might come to me around.
Milo and Nick Fuentes.
There we go. Yes, Milo and Nick Fuentes, right there. You know what that says? He's a racist, and he's gay.
Well, he is Australian.
He is Australian. Wait, hang on. No, never mind. I don't want to get too deep into stereotypes I don't know about or understand.
Okay. They have a long history of racism against the Aborigines.
Oh, I thought you meant that they're all gay. Okay.
No, that's different. Once again, I'm gonna bring up the drinking beer from a shoe.
Anytime you have a country which was basically spawned from England, you can pretty much guarantee there's a shit ton of racism in their history. Name one that doesn't have that, please. I'll wait.
Yeah, but they kept it up. Like they were still stealing Aboriginal children up until like the 80s or 90s.
Well, see, that's a fucked up thing about it, too, right? Well, something I always thought, like, you take America, the United States of America, and it was initially founded by, like, religious, people that, as we're told, they were seeking religious freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
When, in fact, as we found out as the factions grew here, they basically wanted to stop being oppressed by the Church of England and found their own areas so they could oppress other sects of Christianity as they cropped up. But
Yeah, because Church of England was too loosey goosey for him. And
Yeah.
they were pretty Puritan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's-
Well, I mean, and that's the weird thing too when it comes to like Rhode Island. The founder of Rhode Island was like this ultra orthodox religious fanatic who thought, I believe it was Connecticut was too loose and liberal, but at the same time when he went and founded Rhode Island, his idea about sin and punishment was that God is almighty, God is over, God solves all, vengeance is mine. I don't need to persecute you the way the Quakers and the Shakers and all the other factions were trying to do to each other. That's God's job. Like, I don't need to be a miserable, judgmental prick. That's the Lord's work, and I leave it to the Lord. Fucking weird, but at the same time,
according to this Bible here,
well, you're fucked
up.
Well, at the same time, a country founded by pious religious people fought a bloody war for independence and won, right? Meanwhile, Australia was a fucking prison colony full of what was regarded as Britain's worst offenders and such, yeah? And they gained their independence from UK by winning a civil fight in court.
Yeah.
You never hear about the Australian war for independence, do you?
Well, and
we hacked a bunch of boomerangs at the fucking redcoats, and then they all came back, and they were so confused the cunts never showed up again. Now we got our own country, and they're like, we can abuse our own blacks as we like. Good times.
The extra fucked up thing is like their immigration policies are so strict that if you're a criminal, you can't move there anymore.
Which is, I mean, that's the funny thing though. Is like, I've talked to a lot of people and they dream of like, I want to move to Australia, because all they think of is like, like Sydney, or I don't even fucking, like the cities, the metro areas where they got beautiful beaches and all this and that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you forget, like, most of the country is like one of the harshest fucking deserts that wants to. Everything in Australia that crawls wants to kill you, because even it can be like 1/50th of your size, and it'll realize you will provide plenty of food and a place to lay their brood.
Yeah,
Fuck Australia! It's a hellscape.
Like they have the most deadly shit. They also have some of the cutest shit. Like, look at the
fucking drop bears. The drop bears. You're gonna talk about drop bears then?
The North American possum looks like it should be in Australia as opposed to the possum that they have. I don't know if you've seen those.
No.
Yeah, look up Australian possum.
Oh, they've got loads of cute shit. Actually, yeah, I'll just look it up here because fuck this story. Anyway, Jessica's got jacked up teeth and like people, will make fun of her. Jessica, try having an enormous head and a substance abuse problem. That's part of your public persona. Gets way worse than having summer teeth, You can get those taken care of. I can't get surgery for my personality or my head. Unless I look like Charlie Kirk. I look like inverse Charlie Kirk. If I had like a smaller head but my face was the same size, I'd be like one of Marvel's like Eternals there. Alright, so Australian, what is it?
Possum.
Oh, this is fucking possum. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, it's... Wow, these things look like sugar gliders.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But compare that to the North American possum.
Yeah, which is a fucking horrifying creature.
Yeah, it's an ROUS.
Fuck, it's like it's the worst kind of horrifying creature too, because it's not even like scary. Like we always catch these like certain kind of freak animals who are like nightmarish. No, American possums, they're just like these like ratty, horrid fucking creatures that want to eat your garbage and hate you.
They're just creepy. Like Joe Biden at a kiddie pool.
I need to grab a cigarette for this because I got a review to leave. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I've also recently discovered too. Oh, by the way, I forgot that I had them on me. Come on. Liz was kind enough to make new masks. Well, another set of masks for me. Send them along. I got them in my P.O. box today. Ah, Christ. Yeah, this one's got a bunch of cartoon emojis on it. Won't be wearing that. And then this one looks like a bit of actually, when I look, it looks like panties, doesn't it? Yeah, looks straight up like a pair of panties. So I'm naturally bound to put this on my face. But once again, the problem being, though it does work, because of my huge head, this is the best I can do. Which is, actually, I look like a bird now. I have an idea. But I'll bring it up later, so it's not stolen. And if you make bird masks, I will track you down and kill you. Found this, though. So it's an Amazon Alexa app, right? Now, I don't own an Alexa. I got my dad one. Which is funny, because actually it gets to be kind of hilarious when you get a dementia patient an Alexa. Because you have to call back, you have to find a way to call back to something they understand when you're teaching them. So it was Alexa for a while, and I used to get phone calls from them 2-3 times a day, like, what's his name again? Alexa. Alexis? No. Alexa. Lexus. Like the car. No, not like the car, Dad. Alexa. Alexa. No, Alexa. Alexi. It'd go on for like 20 minutes, and we do this 3 or 4 times a day. Then I realized I could rename it, so I'm like, all right, it's called Echo now, Dad. Echo? He'd just call me up. What's the Lexus name again? Okay. And then I discovered you could call it computer, like in Star Trek, right? You could just say computer, whatever, and it would do the thing. And he managed to hold on to that, and then he would only call me up because he would tell it to increase volume, and so whatever he would listen to, the speaker would start going full blast right next to him, and then it couldn't hear him when he was trying to yell at it to quiet down and had forgotten its name. So I had, yeah. So needless to say, because I own this thing, and because I'm the administrator and all that, I get suggestions on Amazon for products. This one is called it's called Oddly Enough by Voice Skill Inc. It's got a 1.5 star rating after only 2 reviews. I think I need to. I don't know this app. I haven't owned this app, but I think it's important that I weigh in on it. It says, a flash briefing that delivers odd news from around the globe. It is the weirdest of the weird. Really now? Trying to horn in on my territory, are you, Alexa? Is this why I've lost subscribers? People have actually signed up for this, and now they get their odd news from Alexa, or Echo, or computer, or Lexus, or Alexi, or Elixir, or whatever it might be. Now, thus far, Miss Angela gave it 3 stars, saying, too fast. Alexa spoke so fast I didn't catch one word. I have no idea what was said. I wish they could figure out how to slow her down. One person found this helpful. Well, I'm going to comment on this one. There we go. Did you, by chance, have this set to Ben Shapiro mode? That might be your problem.
You should get rid of all the spaces.
What do you mean, get rid of all the spaces?
Do you know chance of the Ben Shapiro mode?
What?
If you just get rid of all the spaces.
Oh, that's an inside joke. She won't get it. She'll barely get this one. You bastard, Jables. I'm trying to be helpful here. Now, this one doesn't seem to update stories very often. After a week, there is no update to any of the stories. There is more weird news going on daily than this app seems to get. Comment.
Not during Corona. That's all I see.
There we go.
Unless you're talking
it's
about
because
that
the real news is being hidden from you by them. Lord Bezos. No, why That's a weird thing when like the autocorrect while I'm typing on Amazon doesn't recognize Jeff Bezos' last name as a real name. Like, no, this has got to be wrong.
You can probably blame that on the browser. Brave browser knows that Jeff Bezos isn't a real person.
Yeah, that's right. It's it's like in order to have a Christian name, you have to have a soul, douchebag. So, Lord Bezos has gas. God damn, I hate this keyboard. Has forbidden you from knowing the truth. It's all a part of the 5G network conspiracy. Google it. I'm not. No, that's no. Also, if I put that 5G thing in, that'll definitely get me banned. Also, it wasn't a great comment. Yeah. But listen, I'm here not just to comment on other people's comments, but to offer my own helpful insights about this product that I don't own. But if I did, I can imagine what some of my problems might be. So with that, let's just log in here. I'm gonna give this. I gotta give it a picture. So yeah, we'll just go with we'll just go with a picture of a shark. Yeah, we'll go with a picture of a shark, a giant great white leaping out of the ocean. There we go. That'll set the tone. Now this gets a 4-star rating. No, this gets a 2-star rating from me. Oh, actually no, it gets a 5-star rating from me. What's most important to know? What's most important to know? This app will tell you. I didn't know that demon sperm could be transmitted in dreams. But my wife gave birth to a demon child that looks exactly like like her boss at work. She's been spending so many late nights hard at work to provide for our family while I take care of the house and listen to Sam Harris's podcast through my Alexa app. But it was only after this app informed me that alien DNA went into every tab of my ibuprofen and was programming me to infect my family with the mind control virus that is Corona Light, that I realized I was onto something. My wife's demon baby now costs me $600 a month in child support ever since she took the house and moved her new husband in. But thankfully, I'm able to fight this in court with the evidence I was provided from InfoWars via this brilliant app. Odd News My Tookus. Tookus? How does one spell Tookus?
I think it's AS at the end.
There we go. With its spell check still doesn't recognize it. Odd News My Tookus. It's all fake news until it's before a judge. I'll see you in September, bitch. There we go. And let's see if they accept that. With my track record, I would not be remotely surprised if Amazon didn't publish that review, as well as all of my comments, because they publish most of them. But they know better than anyone that I never bought any of this shit. So.
Oh, it's a ch. It's apparently a Yiddish word.
Oh, I should know this as a Jew.
Yeah.
I'm glad I misspelled it. That way they won't catch on and then come for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Cannon won't come after you.
Yeah, exactly. Ben saying he found my book at a friend's home a couple days back. He knew he loaned it out to him, but couldn't find it. Oh, but could find it. All right. See, Ben, I was getting all excited in the first sentence you wrote there, thinking someone actually bought my book, and then I discovered that you just forgot that you gave it to somebody, and they read it and forgot that they had it. It's a really good book, though. I promise. To the rest of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Well, I got through that. Where am I in time? Fucking hell. Oh, doing okay. Doing okay. So, well, a kilo of cocaine washed up on Florida Beach.
Cool.
Yeah, there's not much to that. Oh, yeah, but then actually coming off of what we just reviewed there, apparently, what in the fuck is this? Holy shit. I don't care about any of that. Hey, Siri, I'm getting pulled over. So I found this and I was reading it, and then I found it funny because, with the dates, this was posted in October of 2018. They updated it on the 15th of this month.
Okay.
So, police say they're used to being recorded and have no problems using a shortcut. Apparently, there's an app. Let's see. It's possible through a new feature at Apple's new iOS 12 called Shortcuts app. The app allows users to build their own multi-step routines for Siri to run across a variety of apps. One shortcut is called Police. Robert Peterson developed the shortcut, saying it was to discreetly record interactions with police. It's set off by saying, "Hey Siri, I'm getting pulled over." Your phone pauses any music you might be playing, turns down the brightness, and switches to Do Not Disturb. Then it sends text messages to prearranged contacts saying you've been pulled over along with your location. Next, it opens up the front-facing camera so it can record your interaction.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
like it.
I saw this and I was actually thinking, like, I don't use an iPhone, but if I did, I would probably I'd probably get this app. I don't even have really problems with police. Usually when they're talking to me, it's because they're arresting me for something I did. But, even then, I'd like a recording.
Most of my interactions with police, they've suspected me of doing something, and I may or may not have been doing that thing, but they didn't have enough to go on to actually arrest me.
Yeah, I typically most times I've been arrested. There's a few times. And yes, for those who are curious, this is me openly admitting I've been arrested multiple times. Most of the time, it's for shit I didn't do. And then I get away with a whole bunch of shit that I did do. And then a couple times it was for shit that I actually did. But this is kind of neat, though, because once you stop recording, a copy of the video is sent to that prearranged contact, and your phone returns to normal mode. So it's like absolute spy tech shit. Yeah.
How does it stop recording? Do you just say, "I'm good"?
Well, I think it's assuming that you don't get shot by the police. I hope in that case that it continues recording. Otherwise, it'd be like, Siri detects gunshots and then just assumes, well, this interaction is over with.
It stops recording when it hears gunshots.
Yeah. It's like, well, this interaction with the police.
It doesn't want to break Apple TOS by sending people footage of someone being shot.
Yeah. Fucking yeah, I could just see that. Or it's like it just assumes it's like, well, this interaction with the police is over now. We know how it ended. Yeah, so it says tinker around with the settings and test it before you want to use it. So yeah, download this app if you got an iPhone. I want everyone who uses an iPhone to do this. I want you to download this app right away. I want you to go in, play with the settings a little bit, and then go out and get pulled over, or go out and spit in the cop's mouth or something. Right? Just get them to interact with you, and then before they start hitting you, say, "Siri, I'm detained by the police," and then just put your phone back and be like, don't worry, don't think about it. And then just, just sort of mouth the words Just don't worry about it. It's just me being weird with my phone. Haha, tee. And yeah, see how it goes. I mean, it could be really interesting, especially if like you put the phone back in your pocket and that front-facing camera doesn't do dick for you, except here you get beaten by the police.
Yeah, but at least you have audio.
Yeah, at least you have audio.
A really easy way to get stopped by the cops is
being black.
Ride a skateboard for a little while.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I'm talking if you're white. That's different.
Yeah, yeah, and if you try to go out in public pretending to be black, that's a problem.
Yeah, well,
that's a problem
still
on
stopped by police.
Problem on multiple levels, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, we're talking about like. First, audio will come out of the police, brutalizing you, and everyone will be on your side, and then they'll be like, fuck, he was in blackface in public? Why were you doing it? I was testing out a new iOS app, man. Gotta test these apps out. You had to do blackface to it. How else was I gonna get police to fuck with me, huh? Fuck. I shop at Talbot's. What can I say? I'm going to that. Can anybody name a whiter retailer than Talbot's?
I don't know what Talbot is.
I mean, what, like maybe Land's End? It's like I wear Land's End shit.
I don't know what that is either. It must be some East Coast garbage.
Actually, when I think about it, I think Land's End's like Walmart brand. I don't know. I shop at thrift stores. I have 2 pairs of pants in my entire wardrobe that are not fucking riddled with the holes.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll walk out with this dick and police don't even need to look at my face and they just like, whoa, we sense bigger dick, and then they, take pot shots at me. I'm like, oh, we're sorry, sir. And I'm like, why are you sorry? Why am I sir now? You're just trying to kill me. Oh, I get it. Yeah. So, Black Lives Matter and all that. Sorry, I'm trying to drive some kind of point to this, but it's not working.
Oh, sell loose cigarettes outside a convenience store. Do that. That'll get cops on your ass.
Yeah, I'm still white. They call me an entrepreneur then. They'd be like, that's the next
Maybe. Thing. I don't know. There were some white kids selling lemonade in D.C. They didn't like that too much. Permit.
Yeah. You have a permit? I need to see your tax ID. I'm 7. It's no excuse.
That's something that actually happened.
Mm-hmm. But remember, everyone, everything is fine. Listen, we know there are reputed journalists out there letting us know that if you just don't break the law, the state will never beat or imprison you. And they come up with the laws as they go. But, if you avoid breaking them, or avoid looking like someone who might break them, or avoid maybe being around people who might have looked like someone who broke them, you're fine. That's freedom. We're fighting for freedom. We won the Cold War, and it shows.
Yeah, and having massive amounts of bureaucracy and overreaching laws that don't really make any sense outside of like the sphere of adults really helps to keep those kids out of trouble.
Yeah. We got to keep the kids out of trouble, because if they get in trouble, then they're going to get, shot by the police, and everyone's going to be all upset. And it's
what the real problem is? All these TV shows for kids showing kids selling lemonade on the side of the street like it's just fine. Can't do that. Not without a license.
Yeah, you gotta get a license, and if you don't have one, well, I'm sorry, Bucko, but you're going inside for you have to learn to be disciplined by holding someone's pocket. And
all these kids' TV shows are just terrible influences on our children, virtually encouraging them to break the law.
Yeah,
and not develop their own sense of accomplishment for having business of their own.
Honestly, show people your ass on TikTok. Do it. Just nobody fucking cares anymore. Just go ahead and try and be sexy on TikTok. You'll be a star in no time. You'll be coughing COVID into Jake Paul's face by September. You just don't go trying to sell shit on the street if it's not drugs, because then you're just wasting people's time. Whenever I see a fucking lemonade stand, I have to remind myself that it's a real lemonade stand. It's not just a front so I can get some weed. And I say to myself, what are these parents doing with these children? Grow weed in your backyard, have your children sell it, and then you avoid all culpability by laying it on the kids. You say they learned a bit about agriculture in school before school shut down, and then they found pot seeds, sitting randomly at a bus station on a bench, and then they went and grew that weed, and now they're selling it along with lemonade. And I gotta give them credit. Hey, honestly, officer, like, Your Honor, that give my kids some credit. Like, they realized if they're gonna have an illegal business, that they needed a front, and also bank accounts. Their teacher helped them with that. So put the teacher in jail and let my kids go back to selling my weed, please.
I have a better solution. Poppy plants. Not a lot of people know what those look like.
Kids can sell heroin.
They make opium.
Yeah. Fucking yeah, an entire we call generation black tar, a whole generation of millionaires selling heroin that they grow at home.
You don't have to go the full heroin route.
Family. No, the whole refining process. You can teach them about chemistry and shit, and it can be a family activity where you force the kids into the garage and you make the heroin out of the poppy plants. And then you hit the wife when she says this isn't right, they should be in school, and you say COVID-19, I'm not sending my kids to get sick and die. They're gonna stay home and make heroin. And I think this is a step forward.
In the apocalypse, that's actually going to be really useful for home surgeries when somebody needs to get a limb sawed off because of an infection.
Here's the thing I was actually thinking though during the COVID lockdown itself. A lot of people who had never been drinkers suddenly became daily day drinkers, right? I have to wonder if the real apocalypse happened. I think almost everyone would be on heroin. They'd try it once and they'd be like, "Holy shit! I totally don't mind that the world is over," and then that would be the end of it. Everyone would just be on heroin. And there'd be an entirely new opioid-based economy run by us, the people, and also the cartels.
Well, there's also another plant that a lot of people don't recognize because it looks pretty innocuous. It's the coca plant.
Cocaine? Oh yeah.
No, it's just the coca plant.
Yeah, but honestly, if we got our kids, if we got our kids to start making cocaine the way all those kids in Colombia do, right? Could be like, this is what kids in Colombia do, and they'd be like, oh, cool. And then we'd all just be on coke, and we would get so much done. Well, we get so much half done.
Stomping all those leaves is great exercise,
right? Because the thing is, if you're gonna make your kids start stomping on grapes so you can make wine, that's just white privilege, okay? Yeah. Yeah. If you're making wine, yeah, we're all gonna be drinking hooch, blowing coke, and shooting heroin in the real apocalypse, which I'm thinking is probably going to show up around next February. At the rate things are going.
But how are you going to be able to drink all that hooch if you don't have cocaine to keep you going?
Exactly.
That's the real issue.
Yeah. And we will all survive off of our rooftop farms, right? Because like a couple tomato plants and some lettuce. That'll keep us all. We'll all be vegetarians because also with all that coke and heroin in our system, drinking all that hooch, we're not going to be able to keep anything but lettuce and tomato down anyway. So, and also when it comes back up, it's a lot easier. That way we can let all the cows and pigs loose. Yeah. And they can just be out there living their best lives while we're all fucking spun out on speedballs, drinking toilet wine, and making our kids make all of this to keep the economy alive.
Well, there's a lot of water content in lettuce and tomatoes, so that'll be good for keeping people hydrated.
Exactly, because all the water outside of vegetables is gonna be poison, except the water you do your heroin in. That'll be.
Well, I got a life straw from Infowars.com, so I'm good.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So yeah. So you won't even need to make wine, Jables. If you get a life straw, go to lifestraw.com/Infowars and get yourself a life straw right now, so that you don't even have to turn your toilet water into wine. You can just drink your toilet water. You'll be fine. you won't care. You'll be spun out again on heroin and cocaine. You'll be fine, and then you put your children back to work for the sake of the economy. And yeah, I think it's no. I'm not remotely worried about the future at this point.
Nah.
Not in the slightest. Well, all right. So there's two folk who are waiting to get in here now. If you want to come and join this pathetic excuse of a conversation, links are available. You can come in and hang out and be part of the Discord, or you can, I don't know, not do that and keep lurking. Come on now. You know you want to talk to me. I've been just so clever all night. And also Jables is here.
Yeah.
And also Jables is here. So, let's have a look. See, I'm gonna do the randomy number because fucking, I can already tell that the two of these people who are waiting, they're both on even sides of that civil war. Thankfully, because in the same way that religious factions develop in these discords so fast, I'm pretty sure the civil war is not going to take too long.
Yeah, well, it ended pretty quick. I'm not going to get into the details.
Oh, okay, well, I mean, Bread won, so hello, Bread.
What's up?
So, how many of your own cousins did you slaughter in this Meep civil war?
My own cousins?
Sure.
That's a tough one, because I decided to fucking revert everyone's name back, and then just they can rename themselves when they have the power.
Oh, I got it. So you stirred the pot, and then you let it simmer and sit, and let the skin reform.
I just wanted to, like, have some fun, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, we've got a little faction here, and that faction is being vocal.
I honestly
kind of get sick of it.
I need to actually know, though, were people genuinely getting upset?
As far as I know, there was a couple people that were genuinely getting upset. And it's like,
One
okay,
person-
great.
There's one person that's just a contrarian and just goes against everybody else all the time anyways.
Yeah, fuck
No,
you,
okay.
They
crap.
don't count.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
okay. No, I said, we were saying person, we were saying people. Crab is only people when he gives me money. Hey, Crab, I hope you're paying attention. But yeah, Crab's only people when he sends me money, and as far as I'm concerned now, he just kind of showed up to stir the pot a bit, to ruin everyone else's good time, perhaps. Where's my money? No, but so honestly though, it was inspired by Roadrunner, right?
No, it was a random point where it's just like, I'm bored, then Skull just types the word meep. And I'm like, fuck it, everyone's meep now. That's how, like, that's what it started as.
Yeah.
That just makes me sad though, because it wasn't like there's so many meep references you could make.
No, people were making Roadrunner references too.
What was
Yeah,
the
and
other
then
one?
that one dude from the Muppets.
Yeah.
Actually, no. You know what? You know what? I think my mind goes to is, and I might be wrong about it, but you guys remember Spawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kinda.
Yeah. There were the is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure all they said was meep. Well, when they weren't dying and being butchered and slaughtered and eaten by each other sometimes.
Maybe they were just screaming meep when that was happening.
I love that species. It's like an adorable thing that just wants to eat your flesh. Or your psyche, depending on what side of the fence you were on at that given time. That's quality fiction. These days we get the MCU and it's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Meep mimes. Okay, yeah. So, alright, so the war's over, no one's dead, everyone's fine.
The war is over, no one's dead.
You sound disappointed on that second point, yeah. It's like, yeah, the war's over, but everybody's still alive.
I don't know, it's like the proverbial Fort Sumter, except this time it was just the war's over. Shots were fired, nobody fucking died, but it's just over now.
There's just gonna be like small
I
factions.
don't even have a fun Discord Civil War anymore.
Well,
No.
it's just, what's gonna happen is like it's gonna be like a small subsection of people whose names weren't reverted for whatever reason, and
No,
well,
everyone.
these will be people who don't who rarely, if ever, jump into the server, but eventually they'll start coming in, and they'll be like those Japanese soldiers who, like in the '80s, were still fighting or some shit, you know?
Still holed up in the woods of Okinawa.
Yeah, and they're like, shit, I didn't know this happened. I hate this name. Fuck you, whoever did this. No, it's fun. No, it's not fun. Oh, well, I'll fight you over it. I think it was plenty fun. Yeah. It'll be fun.
Oh, by the way, I do have to mention, everybody currently has the ability to change their own nicknames up until tomorrow night. So,
Oh, Christ.
have fun.
I like that. I like that. I hadn't even thought of setting deadlines for the power people can have.
Yeah. By the time the pre-show happens tomorrow night, you will
You
know
mean Friday night?
when the pre-show starts tomorrow night. You will no
Friday
longer
night.
be able to choose your own nicknames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight is Wednesday.
Mm.
Are we
so
all
you're
still
Friday.
forgetting?
I'm losing track of days.
Yeah, no,
It's been a
I was
long-
thinking, are we all still losing track of days like this? Like, are we forgetting? I mean, I have this, I have the Monday, Wednesday, Friday to know how much time is passing. But yeah, if folk are still forgetting, goddamn, bring it back, bring it goddamn back.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you have until Friday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Use your time wisely.
Well, actually, I mean, at the same point though, I mean that means that when it goes back, anybody who wants to, who has the power to, can change their name. So it's sort of like a grace period in which you can name yourself, and we can only hope that that weird cult of name changers respects your choices,
Yeah.
I don't think they will.
No, I put some people in power. Unless your name is just garbage.
Oh, so now it's a judgment thing. Now,
Yeah.
now
Well, no, they have the right to judge. We all have the right to judge.
that's right. Yeah. So join the Discord and let your nickname choice become part of basically a dog show. If the judges like your ability to jump through a hula hoop, then you might get to name yourself whatever you like. If not, God help you. But listen, I don't want that to. I don't want to turn people off from the idea of joining the Discord. I should, but I don't. So, once more. Look, I didn't even notice. Well, I did, but Lord Flabby Hat donated $10, saying if you're old enough to crawl, if you're old enough to crawl, they're old enough to work. Oh yeah, and putting no.
That joke is going somewhere completely different.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure, but then I remembered. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It was my suggestion that we put our own kids to work in poppy fields after.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a really good reason, especially after depopulation via virus and whatever else, to have a bunch of kids, like in the old way. Not because God said so, but because you need people to work your land. The land that you stole.
Half of them will die by the time they're 5.
Exactly. The land that you stole from someone else.
It's okay. They'll get so many things halfway done. Like if they start working in the coca fields, like it.
Well, I mean, it'll be great because they're lower to the ground, which means they'll actually be able to work longer because they're not straining their back.
Not just that, they'll also they'll get a lot of different shit done because even though it's a different environment, these are still kids born of the same genes, so they'll all have ADD, and then we'll encourage them to chew coca leaves while they pick the poppies, and so they'll pick half the poppies, and then they'll get like a quarter of a heroin batch done, and then they'll get back to picking poppies, and then they'll just go and play with RC cars or something. It's going to be fantastic. I love this. Kids on drugs is our future. If you're not
Kids
on board,
on drugs working the fields, it's amazing.
If you're not on board, you don't believe in capitalism in the coming world that we will all inhabit. By the way, you will refer to me as a godhead, but I prefer your lordship. It's fine.
Your lordship.
Kids on drugs sounds like an alt indie band name.
I'm sure it was.
I'm pretty sure it's been a few alt indie band names.
Yeah, I have no doubt that's been a band. Kids on drugs. I mean, shit, that was like the mantra to parenting in the 90s anyway. My Johnny, he's so hyperactive, and all he wants to do is play sports and run around, and I can't think of any ways to get his attention. Oh, pills! Hey! Yeah.
Oh. I think Canuck just named his new band that. So
Kids on Drugs.
yeah.
Not a bad name. Look at what we've managed to do here. We named an indie band.
Yeah, I was right. He just started the band.
We
Yeah.
named an indie band, and we're making the new policy for the new world.
I am so good at this.
Yes.
You can't have that much heroin without having an alt indie band as your background music.
Yeah. Well,
The question will end up being: is it child slavery or child indentured servitude?
or is it a job
No,
training
it's just
program?
daily chores for the farm.
See, you know that's gonna. Well, no, you know that's gonna be the next step, right? We're gonna have these like drugged out, ADD internet kids. Like they'll have some parents who want to be like trad, you know. And by this point, trad will mean being in charge of your kids, and not just letting them be their own. Like, you know, it's like, well, my son decided that he's a disabled woman. What? Yeah. Oh, well, you have to respect that. Why? He wants to collect disability as a 45-year-old woman with Crohn's disease. He's a 6-year-old boy. He's been on the internet too much. Lauren Southern is finally making sense to me, and not just.
Are his legs broken? Are they deformed? Get back in the fucking field, kid.
Yeah. It's like this is why we gotta put a squash in this SJW culture, y'all. Because
Exactly.
you know, here's a
Kids
weird
not
thing I
wanna
noticed.
work.
Well, here's a weird thing. Here's a funny thing I noticed though is like the TradCon stars of the world, right? Like, why isn't Lauren Chen pregnant right now? What the fuck is she waiting for? Like, Lauren Southern popped one out. Good for her. Where are the rest? Make more. Otherwise, the white race is going to die. We all know this.
Well,
Now,
the
she
question
told
is,
us so.
Is Lauren Chen actually married?
If not, why not?
That's
There-
another good question. It's
There
like,
are plenty
if
of
you're waiting-
eligible bachelors who would love to, copulate and make babies, good Christian English-speaking babies, as God intended, as He wrote in the original English in the Bible. You know, that's what.
But
Yeah. Where is
but
that?
there-
Where is this shit? I mean, it's like talk the talk, but don't walk the walk. No, I'm sorry. I make it clear. I'm a nihilist with substance abuse problems who thinks he's funny. I do that every goddamn day of my life. I don't pretend I'm trying to raise some traditional family here, because if I did, I'd have knocked some woman up and married her, and then I'd, just kept hitting her until she stopped complaining to the police. You know, it's a traditional family unit.
you got a third of the way there.
Where's Lauren Shen's black eye for daring to make videos, huh?
Well,
She
that's
makes a
what
lot
she
of
used.
makeup.
That's what she used the toner for, man. Come on.
That's a good point. She does have really good lighting. That is good domestic abuse lighting, and I got to give her credit, because I think she's a
Damn
pioneer.
it.
I think she's a pioneer in that field. So,
Oh
hat,
my
you know what,
God.
Lauren? If I could wear a hat, I'd take it off in honor of you for managing to, cover up those falls down the stairs, because you haven't managed yet to bear, a child or 12 for your husband, so you can all work the fields.
Well,
For
I
your
think,
not yet husband.
I think the black bricks in her background really help lighten everything up.
Well, that's the great thing. Why do you think women invented eyeshadow? It's so they could stop having to answer uncomfortable questions to their friends.
Well,
That makes way too
never
much sense.
mind.
See, look at this. I'm getting TradCon here too. It's like, you know why eyeshadow is so attractive to men of a certain variety? Well, it's because it looks like she learned to keep her mouth shut. Two black eyes.
But the problem is, who's she wearing the eyeshadow for? That means she's going outside. Something's very, very wrong now.
No, wait.
Going even more trad.
Well, I mean, listen. Somebody's got to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, my wife's got summer teeth, like that Australian bitch. So I
Summer teeth.
well, that's the thing. Is like, I don't want her wearing a mask, because I knocked those fucking teeth out on purpose so that some other dude wouldn't think, hey, I can raise her kids. Those are my kids. I'm here to neglect and not pay for them, okay? And so that's the thing. I'm like, a woman walks out of the house wearing a mask and eyeshadow. All of a sudden, all she needs is a pair of cat ears, and she's got herself a new virgin husband. And where am I? Huh? That's right. I've got to bury the kids in the backyard and change my name. I'm not about to do any of that because it's way more effort than I'm ever putting into for any one woman. So there you go. So Breadmaster,
Yes.
I'm gonna move on to a different guest.
Yeah.
I'm glad you inspired all this conversation and are responsible for all the points hitherto offered to the public. I had nothing to do with them. Those are all you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Blaming me for something that wasn't completely my fault. And again,
Well, it's part of the delegation of powers as the Discord server works. I delegate powers and
blame
responsibilities.
Jables. He's higher on the totem pole than me.
I can't.
Huh?
He's already to blame for all the racism, I say.
Okay, fine. I guess I'm in charge of all the child abuse scandals.
Exactly. See, listen, I am a shepherd and you are all my goats of scape.
God damn it.
Now, that being said, what would you like to leave us with tonight?
If you didn't know, the Destroy All Humans remaster's out on Steam. It's $30. If you want to go play it, play it. That's it.
I love that. I love the enthusiasm of somebody who no longer has enough spirit
No,
to say anything.
I'm still coping with the fact that I'm now the scapegoat for the child abuse scandals.
You're lucky you're not the scapegoat for the racism, okay? Jables
I
has
think
been
the
upset
child
about
abuse
that
scandals
before.
is worse because everyone of all races can get behind that.
Yeah, no.
Would you like to
I'm
trade? I can
like,
let you guys trade
sorry.
right now. This is like, it goes against union regs, but I can let you trade places. So, Jables, if you want to be the child abuser, Brad, you can be the racist from now on.
I can be the racist, he can be the child abuser. That's cool.
I don't like this.
All right, no. So Jables is from now on responsible for all child abuse that happens in the United States,
God damn it.
and Brad is basically Richard Spencer. Okay.
I'm probably whiter than Richard Spencer, which is funny.
All right. Well,
Yeah, pretty quick.
you probably have a better chance of actually having non-retarded children than he does too. But that's just because his cousins and parents are the same people. Anyway.
Exactly.
To be fair, Brad does look more Aryan than Richard Spencer. I will say that.
Just without the haircut.
Yeah.
Just it's like, yeah, if I got the haircut, honestly, like, you know, fascists would be camped out on my lawn just to hang out with me.
I want to know where the fascies like get their hair. Like who's the fasci hairdresser? Like, I want to know.
Oh no, it's all their,
Well,
you know.
no, it was a hipster haircut for a long time, and it was an old school like gangster's haircut back in the 20s and 30s.
Well, yeah,
and
it-
just,
well,
like a lot of shit. The fucking neo-Nazis took it over.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the reason that, like, you know, shaved heads and high end tights were popular was, you know, typically when back in like 19th century, if you were gonna get a haircut, you couldn't afford a barber because they were also fucking surgeons. Oh, that might have been before, but yeah, you couldn't afford to go to a barber, so you know you had your like sister, or your mom, or your cousin do it. So the easy thing,
Same thing with the
Yeah.
thing with working class kids. They couldn't afford a fucking haircut, so it's like shave it all off.
yeah, shave it all off. Or if your mom was good with it, with a razor, you know, she could like give you that sort of like high and tight, and that
Yeah.
top shit would just keep growing out. So you just have to keep shaving down because you can see the line. So you pull the hair to the side and shave it down, and then it's gone again. And then that's
Yeah.
what you had. And then meanwhile, the aristocracy is like, I don't like hair anyway. Give me a powdered wig. I'm sure these were different points in time, but
Yes.
I don't know, man. It's still roughly the same point in time in England.
I just loved it for a while though. I remember like it was early 2000s, but like here in the U.S., like Congress critters, like the DC elite, there was a trend where they'd go and get their hair cut with fire.
Okay.
So there was like, yeah, it was when we first, you know, when they first came up with like you know, pocket torches, you know, which we now use to smoke salvia and crack with. But you know, when those were fresh out, yeah, they'd do the comb up and then they just like burn the hair down to the comb. I'm like, that's okay, sure.
It's a very interesting way of going about it.
Yeah. And now, meanwhile, the most popular thing for like white people on the internet to be, aka Nazis, well, they're taking up the haircuts of the working proletariat class of the 19th century in England, who were oftentimes more than not avowed communists. So,
I think the fire trim was actually invented by a barber that was just tired of sweeping.
It wouldn't surprise me. I just don't know how the
Just
barber
get
would
the
feel about all
seal-
that keratin being
no,
melted
just
to
get
his
the
comb.
fucking ceiling-mounted army Flowbee. I remember when I got my hair cut in the army, right? When they first
Yeah.
shave all the shit off. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a normal pair of clippers that's mounted into this like massive like fucking dust devil thing, dirt devil. That
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a Flowbee, and there's a massive vacuum tube that just goes into the ceiling, and they just shave all your hair off, and poof, it goes into the ceiling, and they turn it into USAID food.
Yeah. So the suck cut from Wayne's World actually exists.
Oh yeah. No, just listen. That was like a subversive marketing effort by the creators because they were really trying to lobby Congress, but they're like, wow, Generation X seems super like engaged in society and involved in shit, and they're gonna change. Nope, no, sorry, whoops, you backed the wrong horse. But yeah, no, yeah, that's what they cut your fucking hair with in the.
Speaking of which, I cannot wait for my barber to open back up. Lots of.
Jables, do you tell me you go to like a black barber shop where they just sit around and talk shit the whole time?
No, it's not a black barber shop, but it's just a small barber shop, and he just gives me beers while cutting my hair. So.
Oh, that's no. White people call that a salon. Okay. So yeah, Jables, and honestly, no one will be surprised by this statement. Jables can't wait for his salon to open up again.
It's not a salon.
He misses the girls back there. Anyway, Redmaster,
It's a small shop. There's only like 3 people allowed in there at a time.
You're just like, no, I don't want to give into the bit, but you have to.
I can't.
You have
to.
All right, well, Brad, say goodnight.
Night.
All right, he's gone. And he can go off and have his retard children. All right, next up, wait, what's that? Yeah, no, one. So, Dina. And don't fucking leave, Mickey. You get to be next. Unless somebody else beats you in line. But, fuck it. You'll get to be next. Dina.
Hey. Yes.
Where's Liz?
I don't know.
Well,
I've been in Anchorage all day. I don't know. We need to find her.
Yeah. For all we know, she's wandering along the highway without shoes or any clue where she is.
I mean, she could be. Could be lurking in stream chat, too.
Yeah, well, she sent me masks and stuff, and I'm like, hey, it's mask by the way. Which is funny, though, because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, so she sent these in the wrong size, I think, because she sent this nice one in a small size, which I'm sure is destined for Quinn, but Quinn doesn't have that. And then she sent this emoji one. Yeah, Liz, I would rather give everyone. I don't care about catching COVID, but I'd rather give everyone else around me downtown COVID. I don't like them anyway. I'm not an emoji guy. I'm not an emoji guy. I mean, I feel like I'm making a statement here. I feel like I'm like the next Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, because I'm like, hey, fellow kids. While I stroke a non-existent beard in an otherwise villainous manner. See?
Just stroke your mask.
Yeah, I'll just stroke my mask. I like this one though because if I wear it just right, it makes me look like a bird. And I'm kind of okay with that. Yeah, because if I wear this small one, I can't wear it over my entire giant head. But look. I look like a bird. I'm just. I will end up. I'm gonna wander into some like hotel function one time, and everyone's gonna be like, "Did you know the furry convention's going on? Are you a parrot?" And I'll say, "No, I'm not," because I would never wear one of these because I can't. Fuck, I can't.
It's pointless.
Exactly. You want me to like help us beat COVID-19 sober? Are you serious?
Kind of looks like you might be trying to wear a pair of your girlfriend's underwear.
No, that looks completely different.
Oh, prove it.
Stop asking questions. See? Exactly. But yeah, makes me look like a bird. And actually, I'm kind of digging this because now that I watch it on screen, I'm still not expelling any particles. Achoo. But it still works with my giant chin. Yeah, actually, you know what, Liz? Good job on this tiny mask. I feel like I'm wearing a woman's underwear on my face, and that brings me back to better times.
There you go.
Yeah, not as cool as when Fat Pat manufactured a mask out of his wife's bra.
Well, not all of us get to have wives, Fat Pat. Also, not all of us get to have guests on our show despite the invitations we send. Sophane was good enough to show up, but Mr. USO, no. Now he doesn't want to come on because I'm sure by now he knows I am a bird.
Yep.
That's right.
He doesn't like birds, that is a fact.
Exactly. Because
How can you not like the burbs?
well, it's because his head looks like a corn kernel. And the birds love pecking at it. That's why.
He's
a
raised
coward.
by a geek kid.
Yeah, he's worried that, Jesus Christ, this mask is definitely not made for me.
No.
Oh, Canuck, I can tell you that story real simply. Sophane and Fat Pat were club promoters, and they used to do a bunch of cocaine and party.
Yeah, and now they're all old.
Yeah. And then Pat ended up marrying her.
Yeah, honestly.
Because she partied the best, I guess.
Yeah, well, my experience hanging out with them, at least out in LA, they're old enough to where, like, I could give Sophane, like, I could hook up with my MS-13 buddy in Southern California again. I could give Sophane the purest cocaine on earth. He'd do it, and then, like, 20 minutes later, he'd want to take a nap.
Yeah,
I'm done, dude.
Well, that is true. Pat doesn't do drugs. Never did them.
Oh, no, Fane.
Allegedly.
I know Pat didn't do drugs.
I was saying Pat never did them.
Yeah, no. Oh, I'm
correct.
Yeah, no. Pat is a good Christian conservative boy. You can tell by his comedy. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen some of his comedy.
Christ, I was hoping you would say no. I'll be like, oh, you haven't either.
No, I've seen some of it.
Mm-hmm.
It exists online in places.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. You mentioned TikTok earlier. Did you see Tim Dillon's new video?
No, I did not. Well, this is actually part of the thing, because, like, you know, I said, like, I'm legitimately hoping, because, so my birthday's on the 8th, so I've got a week and a half until I'm 37. And I would like to put the smoking to bed forever. I'd also like to drink less, eat more, sleep better, and work out. You know, I'm pretty sure the Quartering actually shut down his Patreon just because people realized how fat his face was behind that beard. And I don't want to be that man. I want his money, but I don't want to be that man. And, oh yeah, as part of that, it's, we'll be working on things. And then they're like, oh, you know, Fat Pat never did drugs. And it's like, well, good for him. He missed out. And it's like, have you been watching Tim Dillon? No! Another part of my health routine is I'm trying to engage in social media less. I don't need to know how funny other people are, because then I'll stop thinking about how funny I'm not.
Well, he just harasses the shit out of a house full of TikTokers. So...
Well, no, I love the fact that, like, he's one person who's actually straight up decided, like, the hype beast is his enemy. Because the fact that
he is the hype beast. What are you talking about?
No,
he promotes. He gets sponsorships for a company that's a hype beast company.
yeah, but then he turns around and, like, all these hype beasts, we could just round them all up and just, you know, grind them up into, you know, reusable materials. I appreciate that because, I mean, like, pop culture and especially internet culture, is something which I'm made increasingly sick by every time I see it. And then I realize I backed myself into a corner where participating in it is the only way I can possibly hope to survive. So I show up here to beg for money and hopefully be entertaining to people. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I just saw 4 other people that I used to be friends with are now streaming at the same time I am. I should just give up. And I should just, become a TikToker. Or an Instagrammer.
You should become a TikToker.
I want to get and you know what? Not just that. I want to make enough money to where I can. So I wear extra large size shirts because I'm a fat fuck these days. But I would love to just get a nice medium size Supreme tee and just make TikToks wearing that. And I'll break into other people's backyards so I can make videos next to their pools. And then I'll just edit the video so you don't see them chasing me off the property or when they let the dogs loose. And I think I think honestly, because it's not about who you are or even what you look like. It's about the environment around you. You need to look like you're around somewhere that's money. And maybe at a certain point I'll have the courage to actually approach these homeowners, with the nice palatial pools and gardens and shit like they have. And I'll approach them at their front doors and I'll hit them with chloroform. And then I'll just put them in a closet. And then I'll just film all of these wonderful influencer videos there after having finally said, you know what? I'm not even going to try and be entertaining or clever. I'm not going to try and do anything. I'm just going to make faces in front of a pool for
that's why
20 seconds.
That's why I'm applying to be Tim Dillon's personal assistant.
Well, it's also because, you admire his work enough to where you're like, hey, big boy, have at me. I heard you're gay and like cocaine, but ain't got that cocaine, so take out that withdrawal rage on me. And he'll be like, I'm well past withdrawals. Well, try and remember it and take it out on me, honey. Yeah, I get it. But see, the thing is, I'm gonna sell out like that. I'm not just gonna suck a dick to get famous on the internet. I'm gonna kidnap an entire house full of elderly people, and I'm gonna live in their house for 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how fast the cops catch on to what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna have the biggest TikTok ever. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that party movie, They had a big party and Tyler the Creator scored that one. Yeah, you know the one. You watched it. You don't want to name it because you watched it and you don't want anyone else to know. It's fine. But we're going to have something like that. And I'm going to set the whole house on fire. And then I'm going to be the most famous TikToker ever. And I won't have to suck a single dick to get there, Jables. How about that?
I don't know. I would do just about anything Tim Dillon says just because I know it would be funny.
I can imagine you win some kind of he's got a subreddit and you somehow win the little lottery and you get to go down to LA and have dinner with Tim Dillon. All of a sudden he wants to put you in a Mary Had a Little Lamb bondage suit where you're dressed up like a lamb and bent over a fucking pommel horse. And he's just like, how is this funny? Is this funny? And you're just like, yes, daddy, yes, daddy. And then you're going to come away from that and it's going to be like you went on a weekend retreat where you just howled at the moon with other guys and be like, I got in touch with my inner man. How? Because a man touched my inner self, and I'm a man.
Dylan became my inner man that weekend.
Exactly, yeah. I'm carrying around more DNA from Tim Dillon than the bastard children he keeps going to court over. How about that? There you go. Just be a repository for your favorite comedians come. It's a good time.
Oh,
it's a good way to go about it. Hey, Dina, I forgot you were here. How are you feeling about all this?
It's fine, I guess. Last statement was a little gross, but okay.
Little gross, but you're going to carry it to bed with you and, not tell anybody about it. See
maybe.
Where it takes you.
Yeah. Oh, I can...
Well, you've got it kind of on record here, ladies and gentlemen. Dina's a freak and loves the idea of Jables getting raped by Tim Dillon. It's a weird...
Oh, no, that's
there are layers to this.
That's not what I think about when I think of Jables, but... I think pretty much everybody in Discord.
Do you
already
imagine
figured
being
out that
Tim
I'm
Dillon
kind
in
of a
that?
freak. What?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be rape.
Tim Dina.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need, actually, like, if somebody out there is capable of the deep fake thing, the face swap thing, you need to find like a photo
Oh
of
my
Dina
God.
and swap her face onto Tim Dillon. That way, Jables can have
Oh
a
my
permanent
God.
erection.
Can we not?
Great idea.
Oh, I don't know. Go ahead. I don't care. Do it.
Oh no, it's okay. I just lost like 3 viewers by discussing that, but you know, I feel like
Yeah, they'll come back.
no,
It's probably just a
I'm really
temporary
no, I'm
thing.
really feeling that we're onto something here. In fact, like I think the future of especially if we go back into lockdown. Actually, I'm gonna launch a business. I just thought of this. I'm gonna launch a new business. I'm gonna learn to do the face swap thing. Then I'm gonna learn to face swap your biggest Facebook or Twitter crush's face onto your favorite porn video. And I'm gonna sell it to you directly. That way it's not for public consumption. See that? It's not even revenge porn. I don't have anything against these people. I'm just gonna ruin their lives. So, you guys go ahead. You send me like, 20, 30 bucks via Streamlabs. I'm not going to give you anything back, but, if you like that idea and you want to crowdfund this, you want to get on the ground floor, you want to be that Bill Gates who's ready to steal the great idea of the Steve Jobs just as it's getting hot, you can do that now. You can be the Elon Musk of revenge porn right now by giving me money, and I will pioneer this technology using Arab coders and Chinese IPs. It'll be great.
I mean, support the art that Nick just came up with.
Exactly.
It's art, guys.
That's right.
Nothing-
I want you to help me fund Chinese revenge porn, which is my new art form. And not only and it will be a tax deduction for you. And I shit you not, because here's the thing. I will tell you to give me money, and I will not give you anything in return. I don't. But you can actually write that and every other donation off on your taxes as an NEA contribution in support of the arts, and it'll be a tax deduction for you. Because this is how it works now. Everything I do is art. I'm declaring it art, which is why none of it makes sense or makes me any real money. That's how you know it's real art.
Even Nick's accounting advice is art.
Yeah, it's true
Keep that in
too.
mind.
Yeah, because like here's the thing, like it would actually cost the IRS more to bring me to court than it will cost them to than they will get from me if they convince a judge that I am not an artist. And I will show up dressed like Harley Quinn. I will get a medium women's size Harley Quinn sexy outfit. And I will show up in I will show up in federal court. Makeup and all. Little dangle bells. I'll have to take my headpiece off and put it through the metal detector so they can actually say like, "Oh, yep, that's metal jingle bells on your head." Yes, it is. And it's part of my case. And if you deny me the ability to argue my case in the way that I see it, you're interfering with my right to due process. So when the IRS comes after me, I will show up in court dressed like a gay bondage slut. And
Does
I will.
it have to be if the IRS takes you to court, or can it just be a thing that you'll do if
Oh
you
no.
reach goal?
Well, okay, fine. Thank you for spoiling the surprise, Dina. I was gonna go back to family court dressed like this, but now it's no God, because I know that judge watches this channel closely. Yeah, I was gonna surprise them,
Anyway.
but you ruined it. Now I'm gonna have to just dress
I
like.
said IRS. You were already talking about the IRS. You already said it. There's no spoilers. You did that shit.
Well, the whole point is eventually I'm going to end, one way or another in my life, I'm going to end up in court again. Like, there's no getting around it. I belong in court. I belong in an environment where people are accusing me of doing horrible things, and I have to justify those horrible things by virtue of explaining why I did them. Most of the time it'll come back to, I thought it was funny at the time. But I know I'll be in court for the rest of my life. But now I'm thinking, I should just go in Goodwill panties, Should go to Goodwill. Buy a fat girl's bikini. Tie the strings a little tight. Show up in front of the judge. Be like, Your Honor, this is my formal wear. I was denied a wedding, and now I want to explain why. And they'll be like, well, you're here because you owe this much in traffic, parking fines. And I'm like, Your Honor, that's impossible. I don't have a license. So if I'd have parked a car anywhere, well, it would have been at home. But I don't have a license, so whatever this is bullshit. You can tell because of my titties. It'd be great. That's a great thing about chest hair too, is it gives a man's cleavage a bit of like shading, you know, like you
Like
know, you're
highlighting for
like you're
men's boobs.
like a second year art student. My body is beautiful in the same way Tyra Banks is if you're a second year art student. It's full of curves, right? It's full of curves and shadows, and it's been on TV. And that's where we are. I'm proud of my body.
Good.
That's why I frame
without
myself the way I do.
positivity, that's important.
Exactly. Also, no one cares if men get fat. Women, you guys can't get fat. No one will love you. But men can apparently get fat, and everyone from gay dudes to, hot 20-something-year-olds with issues love it. I've seen the internet. I'm confident in this.
Just like guys are allowed to go bald,
Yeah. We're allowed to have bits that dangle low, and it's just a proud sign of age, whereas once you ladies' titties start sagging, it's off to the glue factory with you. I think,
Lord.
the most important thing we can be with ourselves in this day and age is honest. And the fact is any woman over 40 is basically an old racehorse.
Oh my God.
Right?
Are you serious?
That was more of a question now that you asked that question.
Oh no, I asked a question first.
No, I mean, now it's a question, and was I serious? Jables, do you think women over 40 would be better off keeping construction paper for kindergartners held together? Or fucking young guys? Either one.
How about both?
I can hear it in your voice. You're so happy I brought this conversation in this direction. I am too, for the record.
So, Jables, are you saying that women over 40 should just be sent to the glue factory? Is that part of what you're agreeing with?
No.
Okay.
He can't agree with that. Hang on, I need to clarify.
That's for sure.
Well, I need to clarify because, listen, here's the thing. I'm trying to book Lauren Chen as a guest on Friday. I'm sure she'd agree with this. Childless women over 40 need to be turned into glue. So that the children of the women who did their fucking jobs can complete their kindergarten assignments without worry of animal abuse.
Okay.
I think this is a solid plan.
You're right. Totally. It's very solid.
Yeah. Now, Caffeine Tweaker said, have I ever considered being a life drawing model? I have, but I'm pretty... Well, here's the thing. So, the other day, Olive, not Olive Organic, but that little 4'10", bread tuber chick, well, she said something about every so often she likes to just stream the internet topless so that whatever CIA or NSA agent is tasked to watch her has to look at her, and then she's like, that's a flex. And I said, I do the same thing, but then I get letters from the Department of Homeland Security asking me to stop because their employees are required to watch my feed, but it's also viewing my naked body is a violation of certain OSHA regulations. So, yes, I've considered being a life art model simply because these people need to learn to draw circles better. But then again, I'm not a milkmaid. I'm also not a milking cow. Yeah.
Caffeine Tweaker, just draw Nick like one of your French boys.
No, actually, better yet, Caffeine, I actually have a big black bed sheet. I'm gonna throw it over my head, and then I'm gonna ask you, draw me like one of your Muslim girls, Steph. Be a good time. God damn it! I'm getting up for another cigarette. I've been passing out too often on my couch. Which means that my lower back, as a man who is approaching 37, no longer functions in the manner it was intended to. So, maybe, yes, I ought to be turned into glue because, as we know, the strength of a man's back so he can build houses, and the strength of a woman's womb. Wait, why did I want to turn women into glue again?
Because they were childless and over 40.
Oh, yes, exactly. The strength and lasting power of a woman's womb, according to Jordan Peterson, dictates whether or not they should be turned into household chemicals. Thank you for reminding me I was worried there for a second.
Yes.
You know,
I mean, that's part of my job around here, right?
like anytime, Nick, I would hate that you forget one of your terrible ideas. God knows what'll come next.
Well, I mean, but you've had really great ideas that you just haven't completed yet, like the Little Sniffles album.
Well, listen, I am just the producer on that album, okay? Lil Sniffles is his own guy. He's got a bunch of face tattoos. They might, and you can say they look like Sharpie, but that's only because he has an artist with a vision, okay? Now, you can't rush art, Dina. You'd know this if you were an artist.
And if your rapper is being a diva, that's on you, my dude.
Listen,
But
I took him on as a client. I took him on
that-
as a client when I was drunk, and he was drunk.
Well.
Maybe we were the same person at that point. Since then,
No.
we've become two entirely different people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still his manager. But I have to respect his wishes because, like, if he can't perform, what do you like? Do you really want some kind of Hootie and the Blowfish bullshit from one of
Oh, I don't
SoundCloud's
think-
hottest not yet rappers?
I mean, we need something, a sample, a song. Doesn't even have to be the whole album. Just
Yeah, just
get
release this.
that.
I'm
get
just
that
gonna, you know what? Then
man
I'm
to,
just gonna,
lay down some-
No, we're working on one song where it's nothing but a repeating sample of "It's been a long time, I shouldn't have left you," without a dope beat to step to. Now, fortunately, most of the people who are old enough to remember where that song and that beat and that rhyme came from are dead of heroin overdoses. So I could just assume that, like, I can sell it, as original, in the same way that Portishead just needs to get used to the fact that one little Latina chick owns Glory Box in its entirety now. But you can't rush art, Dina, because you know what you get?
Mhm.
You get
do you
pop
get?
music.
Okay, but I mean, I figured you would only work with the best, Nick. I mean,
I just, I know, I thought I only worked with the
It's-
best too, but here I am with Jables and you. And
ah,
where are your rap albums, huh, Dina?
I'm not a rapper.
Oh no, do you want me to show those DMs? Really?
Oh.
All those.
Everybody knows Dina is the
You
best rapist.
You gotta show the pictures with them, Nick, so they are in context.
Yeah, I know, but it's a bunch of Snuffix frames, along with a whole bunch of really it's like reading Yoko Ono poetry about murder suicides. How am I supposed to produce that, huh?
But you know what? At least I put out some art. At least I handed something over to you.
Well, you know-
what
you
little Sniffles hand over to you besides allergies?
Do you know what do you know who else who produces art and makes big deal of it is Kanye. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you want to make Lil Sniffles into the next Kanye?
I don't know.
Because I mean that's really
Maybe.
awkward. He's like part Jewish, so he's gonna say like the Holocaust was a matter of choice. They just didn't like their lives, so they said, "Hey, I'm gonna go take a shower with all these other naked Jews." Do you think that's really gonna fly, Dina? I didn't.
I don't
think
know.
so.
You tell me. You're the producer.
Exactly. So now you trust me. Okay, I get it.
I never said I trusted you. I just said you're the producer.
Well, I got 8 minutes left, and Mickey deserves some time. Dina, I'm only doing this because it's, like, polite after you've insulted my biggest client.
Your biggest client is slacking, my dude.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, here's the
You could
thing,
call
like...
him a little slacker.
All right, well, at the same time, let me also say you also push back on my glue idea, and the fact is like it or not, these COVID kids are going back to school in a couple months, and they're going to need Elmer's glue, and I don't know, fuck. Everybody's so fat, they're going to be insisting on drinking whole milk and eating nothing but steak. And where are we going to get this glue from, Dina? outside of widowers and spinsters?
I don't know, but I don't think it should be all women over 40.
Well, the thing is like, find me a better marbled steak than the ass of a 45-year-old childless woman. By the way, next week's guest is going to be Lauren Chen. We're going to discuss why eggs evaporate from vaginas, where they live, in depth. It's a strange thing. I didn't know they were that moist. I didn't know they were made of that much water. Apparently, that's another reason women need to not drink, so they can stay hydrated, so their eggs last longer.
Well, no, that's why women put on so much water weight.
Exactly. And I hope everyone watching this on YouTube, I hope you guys take to Twitter with a hashtag when I get kicked off the internet for talking about women's eggs. It's an important thing. We need to discuss keeping eggs fresh. Here's the weird thing. Why is it chickens can lay eggs? We can put them in like a little cardboard thing and it'll last 6 months in my freezer. Yet I try and knock up a rich heiress and all of a sudden it's nothing but desert. Huh? We need to figure this out. Science. Elon Musk, if you're paying attention, you knock that one weirdo kinkster up with weird pronouns and you're going to divorce her and pay child support. And that kid's going to have like child support to the degree of, I don't know, the chief executive of ExxonMobil when this is all over. But my point is, Dina, if you don't want to be glue, you got to have some babies.
I had babies. I had 3 of them. I even had 2 at one time.
Oh, well, then you'd make terrible glue. That would be like, it'd be like the glue version of like Tom's soap, you know? Doesn't work. So.
Okay, thanks.
Anyway, what do you want to promote before, your eggs expire?
Before my eggs expire. Okay. Don't really have anything to promote. I have a little bit of news.
Well, I love news.
I don't know. Do you think I should give the news?
Yes.
Jables?
Well, I don't see why not.
I don't know. Like some people
Sorry, Jables. Jables, did you just answer that? Jables, did you just answer that by saying, I don't know, I'm super high right now?
No, I answered that. I don't know. Sure, it's her personal business.
Yeah, that's true. Never mind.
No, I don't know. You already opened the door, Dina. You got to walk through it. Otherwise, people
I can close the door. I'm allowed.
Yeah, but otherwise, everyone's gonna come banging on the door. It's gonna be like Dawn of the Dead.
No. I had to get my heart checked. Had to get a checkup with a cardiologist, and everything turned out fine.
Wow.
Which is good. Yeah.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah. No,
There's still a woman on the face of this earth with a heart that works. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter, but that's good news.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. See, and I'm on your side too, Nick. So.
Well, I gotta say, no. I mean, these days, especially since I picked up smoking again, I'm like kind of waiting. I'm like, oh, like little bit of chest pain. I'm like, is this it? Is my arm numb? Nope. I can still feel it. God damn it. So.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got checked
I
out and you're
understand
healthy. Everybody else out there, go get checked out. Get your heart checked. No matter what, even if it's not, bother your doctor. Tell them,
No,
my heart is hurting, doctor. Give me something for it. They'll give you a bunch of Xanax, and then they'll put you through stress tests, and they'll be like, well, your heart's fine. And they're like, no, it's not. No, your soul is broken.
In a lot of places in the U.S., they're actually covering things COVID related to they're like things that are COVID related that you go to your doctor for. 100% free. So if you have COVID symptoms, quote unquote,
Which is everything.
then
Doctor, I can't get an erection no more. I think it's COVID.
So what, are you saying that COVID is kind of turning into universal health care, Nick?
It's like, yeah, you're gonna show up at like the hospital and like
go to the doctor, get yourself a checkup and a test.
Yeah, just go and be like, doctor, I think I have COVID. I can't breathe so well, but also my toenails are a funny color. Oh, you have COVID toe. Nope, you got ugly toenail fungus. We have something for that. Doctor, my immune system isn't working so well. And? Oh, and I lost all of my sense of smell. You've got COVID. Oh, and AIDS. How about that? Let's treat that AIDS as though it was COVID. Anyway, thank you for being our resident. Well, Dina, I appreciate coming in here and being our like resident COVID denier.
Yeah, because that's what I was, right?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Okay.
Next time it'll be flat Earth. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll study up.
All right. You have a good night, hon.
All right, you too.
All right, next up, Mickey Figgy. Schmicky.
Mickey.
Just
What's up?
Oh god.
No.
No.
Tell me you can hear me.
What?
Yes.
Okay. I get paranoid every time I'm on the show. I'm just like, oh my god.
Mickey.
Can you hear me?
Mickey, what region of Eastern Europe does your favorite glue come from?
I don't use glue for much. I mean, I don't know. That's the guy's job. Guys fix things, women cook all the meals. You know, that's just.
You are desperately avoiding trying to become glue, aren't you?
I've had babies. I don't need to be glue. I'm,
like,
you know.
I love how this has become a trad concept. It's like I have had white babies. It's fine. Yeah, that's where we're at. It's good. God, I'm gonna get banned so quick.
Well, did you read the message I posted with my with today's Streamlab?
If no, that's Lord Flappy Hat. If you're old enough to crawl, they're old enough to work. Oh, bring me on the show first. Show us all you're not show of this ladies first. No, I lived up to my reputation in this
True.
sense. Yeah, I mean, I spent like the first woman who came on. I said like any woman over 45 without a child needs to become glue. It's not chauvinism. I'm just a utilitarian.
Okay, is that what the kids are calling it?
I don't think modern kids could spell that word, let alone pronounce it. So no.
I wanted to get on the show today because I wanted to tell you about my day.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I know. I know you love to listen to us women gabbing at the.
That's
whatever,
why I'm such a monogamist. I love hearing about women's days.
Well, this it coincides with the hubby as well, so you'll get a little bit of male energy from my story.
You're not selling this well, Mickey, but go on.
I just, I thought it was worth mentioning today that the hubby and I went out to run some errands. We took a lift to the store, and once we got to the store, not only did we receive sass and passive aggressiveness from our cashier at the grocery store, but we also received sass from the driver that drove us home.
Why didn't you spit in their mouths, Mickey?
I did the Karen thing. I talked to the manager, and that's about all the power that I have at this point. Because I wanted to punch the kid in the face. I really did, but going
That's
to
an
jail is
essential
not exactly.
worker. That's a fucking. You're talking about wanting to punch heroes right now.
Are you serious?
It's like saying, I wish I could kick Captain America in the shin. Yeah.
I don't like Captain America, so I guess that would do it.
Well, that explains it. I'm guessing you are, what, North Korean, maybe?
I am not. I am Team Tony Stark all the way.
Oh, so according to BuzzFeed, you're a fascist. I understand. No, it's fine. It's fine. Listen, that kid had no right to bitch at you. Were you not wearing a mask? Was that it? Are you a mask?
I was wearing a mask, and so was.
Well, then
Frank.
what did you do?
Well, Frank walked up to the register, starts putting his stuff down. He's having a conversation with the cashier, and he's got his mask like right below his nose. He was just trying to get a breath of fresh air, And this dumb kid, he's like, "Hey, sir, could you move over here and don't talk to me if you're not standing in front of the glass thing."
I'll be honest.
You know,
I'll be honest with you here. For one thing, if you're looking for a breath of fresh air in a grocery store, you're not gonna find it.
Also, not having a mask not covering your nose
defeats the purpose.
The purpose of the mask.
Yeah.
The cashier was wearing a mask. He was safe from us, and neither one of us have COVID. No. We've both been tested. Like, all I'm saying is this whole thing...
The mask isn't about catching it. The mask is about spreading it.
Yeah. See, look. My mask makes me look like a bird. I'm not wearing that emoji mask, Liz. I appreciate it, but, this is the one. Now, I can wear it above my chin, and I look like a bird! And I have to pull it up. But... This is still keeping my microphone from catching the COVID. I don't know. I've got so many things I want to spread around these days. But I'll put it on upside down. See, you need to learn to wear it correctly. I'm going to make a PSA, actually, about appropriate mask wearing. Stop it. See, this is the problem with a giant face. But, see, now... It's tipped underneath, and I look like a bird. I look like one of those bird people from No Man's Sky, except with a terrible haircut. And I'm willing to take that hit.
I mean, he just moved it for a second to get a breath of fresh air. He's chatting with the cashier, super nice, full of energy, super happy at what we were buying. And then the cashier is just acting like a douchebag. So he's like, all right, I'll walk away. I'll put my mask on. I'll walk away. I'll go cool off. And then Mr. Sass Mouth decides to passively aggressively thank the customer behind me for wearing his mask during their exchange. Come on.
I like this, actually. I'm going to start declaring, by the way, the size of a man's head and face is a sign of his virility and alpha nature. I'm looking at you, Charlie Kirk. See? You can't deny that, Mickey, right?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, well, like,
apparently...
I can wear this, but here's the thing. Your husband just wants to fuck cough in the mouth and spit in the mouth and make out with cashiers, and that's what they're afraid of. You can't have that.
Apparently there's a new insult that you might be called if you're wearing a mask that covers the face without the nose.
What's
covered.
that?
It's called being dick nose, apparently.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Honestly, I don't, of all the people to shame in this way, right? I don't necessarily feel that shaming people who refuse to wear masks when it's the least you can do, because it doesn't deprive oxygen. Here's the thing I discovered today. I wore this when I was out, and Liz sent this to me. I wore a paper mask before, and then I put this one on, even though it only covers the important parts, so like my spittle doesn't go anywhere. But here's the thing. I have become a chain smoker who is overweight, doesn't take care of himself. He's like, if anybody should have trouble breathing, it's me. And normally, I feel like shit when I walk around. But I wear the mask, I still feel like shit when I walk around, but it's the same shit I feel like otherwise. It doesn't get worse. Yeah, it's just
the mouth area is hotter.
Yeah, it's just continuous.
My mask always fogs up my glasses. It drives me nuts.
What?
I just feel sweaty.
There's also a video that ended up going viral. There's this chick that has she has like legitimate lung issues, and because of that, she has to carry around like a blood oxygen level tester. And she tried all of the different types of masks of all different ratings and everything like that. Does not affect her oxygen level.
Yeah. And the notion of fresh air too. Fresh air is air that smells good and clean. right? Now, I live in New Hampshire where we've got plenty of it, but I also live in Manchester where it does not exist. It all smells like, well, like dirtbag people, all that, right? And so you're talking once again about a notion of comfort. Like, this is honestly uncomfortable. This one, even that bigger one, I mean, it's more uncomfortable for a physical difficulty, as this mask presents, because it's too small, than the bigger one. I'd have to wear something with emojis on it. And God help me, I'd want to kill myself if I ever saw my reflection. But, see, you talk about fresh air, you just talk about it being comfort. It's like everything else. It's all about my comfort.
Right.
And that's the shittiest thing about American society, is we are all a bunch of big crybaby fucking cunts. We are all entirely wholly dedicated to preserving our senses of comfort, and doesn't matter what it costs. Doesn't matter if it, it's fed down from the notion of, oh, we got to make sure the stock market's doing well, otherwise the economy's shit. No, the economy can do well and the stock market can eat a dick long before the opposite is true. But we're so used to comfort. We are so used to getting our way that the moment a slight inconvenience gets in the way of us being used to doing things, which, as we've come to learn, is fucking terrible, that all of a sudden that's an inconvenience. And this is the funny thing I noticed, and I'm not saying this is on you, Mickey, because I know you actually understand the same point. The same people who are running out there saying, I am being oppressed by being forced to wear a mask when I go into Panera Bread, are the same people who say to protesters protesting police violence, if you just follow the law, the police will leave you alone. It's a complete disconnect from the real world, to where people are so obsessed with their own little universes and their own comfort that it actually obligates them to ignore other genuine injustice, because it doesn't feed into the singular narrative that their discomfort is the central thrust of oppressive forces in the world. It's a weird thing.
I would have gone the surveillance state narrative.
Oh, well, yeah, but how long have we been trying to talk about that for? Yeah, how long have we been trying to talk, and no one gave a shit? This is the sad thing, is you can tell people, like, yeah, your American way of life is being destroyed and violated. The entire ethos upon which all of those uniformed heroes with guns died for, that you celebrate them on regular. All the shit that all that was supposed to stand for is quietly and silently and slowly gone out the window as we've given up one liberty after another for a sense of security. And then the same people who defended that desecration of liberty in the name of security end up being the first people to come out thinking that they're civil rights protesters simply because they're arguing and bitching about something that causes a very, very mild inconvenience, and one which fits into their paradigm otherwise. Because here's the thing, outside of government mandates, like if Costco, if Panera Bread, if McDonald's says you have to wear a mask in their stores, you refusing to do that is an actual violation of their private property rights. But that's a civil rights violation. You can't go in and get a fucking McChicken and stuff your kids full of fucking MSG without a mask. That's a civil rights violation. But you being spied on, there being unarmed, unmarked, heavily armed police whisking people off in vans, etc., that's not civil rights violation. A civil rights violation is only when it happens to your annoying bitch-ass high school wife or husband who is certain to death that they deserve the right to do what they want as long as nothing affects them.
I can totally take responsibility for just simply not liking being told what to do. I mean, that's really all this boils down to. We're all trying to coexist in this scary time, and if I have to put my mask on to make someone else feel comfortable, that I can get behind. But to have somebody issue a ticket to me for not wearing a mask in a grocery store, that just, what can I say? It just seems a little fucked up, you know?
Wait, no. Do they? Is it illegal to not wear a mask in a grocery store, or is it grocery store policy?
Well, the grocery store policy, and it is mandated by our mayor of the city of Phoenix. We have to wear a mask if we step outside our door in public.
Okay.
So that's a civil thing. Frank asked a police officer about it.
Do you have to wear pants when you go outside?
Of course.
I find pants extremely uncomfortable.
Actually, yeah, making people
home, I take them off.
Actually, yeah, that's the funny thing. The requirement to wear clothes in public is one of a moral decency code, whereas any requirements to wear a mask in public is public health. I would say that a mandate based on public health concerns is actually far more reasonable and respectable than a moral or common decency idea. Like, I would actually I would be more okay these days in terms of mandates if we got to choose between them. I'd be fine with naked ass people wearing masks walking out than I would with people in, like, whatever fucking, whatever they got to wear in their clothes, no mask. Because guess what? Seeing flappy ass titties or nuts that hang down to the knees, that's not, I mean, that might make you a little physically ill, but it's not going to get you sick.
It's natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Let's all be nudists in masks. Because
down with that.
I hadn't even thought of that before, but yeah, that's a really good fucking point. Is if you're upset about the fact that your local or state government is requiring you to wear a mask, but you've never been upset about the fact that you're required to wear clothes, then you've got your priorities ass backwards.
Yeah, the other thing, if it's not a government mandate, but it's a store policy, you abide by the no shirt, no shoes, no service thing. So,
yeah,
wear a mask when you go in the store.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Also, and the great thing, here's the weird thing, here's the thing that confuses me too, right? American culture in particular, we are obsessed with image and fashion. Like, we care more about the superficial than we care about anything else. And it even extends into economics to the point where people will put a GoFundMe together to make sure that a Jenner's sister can be a billionaire long before they're ever willing to even acknowledge the fact that we have a housing or medicine crisis in this country. They would rather Kylie Jenner be a billionaire than actually stand up and actually fight for public health issues. Now, if that's the case and we're all so concerned with how things look, why is it more people are not seeing masks as fashion accessories? Why is
they are actually
so many?
Nike.
No, I know a lot of people are. But I'm just
Nike makes masks.
No,
a lot of
listen,
fashion.
I'm gonna be releasing branded masks of my own soon. I even got actually Caffeine Tweakers working on a design, or she sent me a design already. It's gonna be great.
I personally kind of like the mask look because I can't grow facial hair. So
finally, the beardless of us are able to go out in public without feeling shame. But no, I mean it's. Well, this is one of the things though that I wonder about. It's like in a society where, your selection of fucking like living room furniture, if you have enough money to like design a home, like there are people who actually look, and it's a fucking Fight Club line, but people look in catalogs or This Day Online and say, what kind of dining set defines me as a person, right? They're so desperate to bring aesthetic into self-definition because so many people these days are so fucking hopelessly lost in terms of what it means to be a human being that they get so caught up in aesthetics. And then we get a time in which it's, as a matter of public health and sometimes municipal law, you're required to wear an additional piece of clothing. How have people, like, why is it not universally accepted that this is another chance to define yourself as a person?
Now, I do, the area that I have a problem with it, with some people, not with people wearing masks or anything like that. The area that I have a problem is when I'm walking by myself in a quiet neighborhood. I can see for blocks. I'm not going to be walking anywhere near anybody, and somebody across the street tells me to put on a mask. and I'm just meandering around drinking some water and trying to get a good walk in.
You should just put you should put your mask on and then pull your dick and balls out of your fly and just flop them out and give them thumbs up. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, I have a problem. That's where I have a problem because that's happened. Like, I'm just walking down the street, smoking a cigarette in this quiet neighborhood, looking at people's gardens, and
looking at people's gardens. Some people get jealous of other people's cars. Jables
neighborhood actually take really good care of their gardens, and they have a lot of really cool flowers and shit.
Christ! See, this fits correctly too. Liz. This pattern on this mask, come on. But no, I mean, I can appreciate and understand that. I just think it's fucking funny. I mean, granted, you got to keep in mind, I'm on Team COVID. Whenever I see like swaths of people like we're gonna gather together and not wear masks to like make out with each other and prove that this is all a hoax, I am applauding them unironically. I want this to get worse. I want all of this to get worse. Because the worse it got, the better I was. And that's the way I gotta live. But on that note, making it clear to all of the audience watching and everybody who watches this on replay, which will be about 22 people, it's not that I want you to die. I just want a lot of people to die. Maybe some of them will be you. Hopefully some of them will be me.
I don't want to die. I want to keep throwing money at you.
Well, yeah, but if I'm the one who dies, then, you know, it's just going to, like, paying for a funeral plot, in which, like, I would like to donate my body to science, but the more I think about it, the more I would love to have someone else waste money after I die buying a plot of land. I will never own a home myself, but I would love the idea that after I die, someone will actually buy me some actual real estate.
Yeah. Well, I like. Well, it's like that George Carlin quote. I really like it when a lot of people die.
Yeah, the George Carlin quote no one's heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great. No, the more chaotic the world is, the happier I am. Crab agrees with me. Wait, I need to now reevaluate my priorities in the world.
Oops.
Thank you, Crab. No, anytime he agrees with me, I'm like, whoa, wait a second. Hang on. I'm sure I'm wrong here somehow. But I won't examine that too much. Mickey, anything you want to leave us with tonight?
Oh, I don't know. Just to clarify my message yesterday, I announced a few days ago that I'm taking some time off work to focus on my health and get caught up with doctor's appointments, and gonna start couples therapy pretty soon. So I'll be around a lot more often.
All right. Well, I hope it all works out, and I hope you get healthy, and I hope everything else about you gets healthy. But if you get unhealthy, I insist you stop wearing a mask. Because I need this to get worse, and I need it to get worse fast. Otherwise, my depression's going to come roaring back. Jables.
I'm on it, boss.
Yeah, it's like, all right, yeah, I'm on it. I'm gonna go make out with strangers. I'm gonna let the hubby know it's not about attraction or infidelity. I'm just trying to spread whatever germs I might have. I might be asymptomatic. I just want to spread them. There we go. In the name of Meep. Jables. Anything you got?
Pre-show, Let's Just Into Discord, twitch.tv/Let's Just Into Discord, every Friday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we raid this show right after that. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then I sent you Tim Dillon's new video.
Nice.
So I encourage people to watch that.
Yeah. And if you're a supporter of this show, realize that this coming Friday's show will be the last show of the month. I believe, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be the last show of the month. So we'll see how August pans out. Anyway, I hope to see you all on Friday, and it'll be fun. Got one more video coming out this month. Be hopefully, I think, dropping tomorrow, because I got it written today. So, but hope you check that out. In the meantime, come on back, on Friday. Look forward to seeing you. Now, this stream will come to an end. Wear a mask. Don't be a cunt.